What's up, guys? I'm bringing you a monthly recap for the month of November. I apologize to my future self for not posting this on time. Technically, I should have posted this Sunday. Today's Tuesday, but I was away from my setup, spending time with family for the holidays. But, anyways, let's get to the point. So, quick rundown of what we're going to be talking about in today's video is pretty much my good trades for the month, my bad trades, some takeaways, and then just gonna conclude and share some key reflections I had about my performance this month. Alright, so let's start off by touching on some good trades I had for the month of November. So first we have Lunar. This was flagging after some earnings. It made a, let's see, 169% move. It also gapped up on some more news, as you can see right here. But anyways, premise of the setup was a nice decline in volume, nice tight day before entry, and then really nice volume on the day of my execution. So originally my fill on this was about 860 something, and then I added more to risk from 0.5% to 1% above that this like 874 level. And yeah, I've been in it ever since. I cut half one of these days up here. I think it was this day right here. This was earnings day where we had that massive dump, as you could see. It's actually dumping right now. It's probably some news because this thing is fucking getting slammed. Anyways, yeah, we cut half before earnings because from my memory, I don't think I ever held a stock into earnings. I've either been shaken out, fully taken profit, or just try to take the earnings gap up after earnings. So yeah, I cut half before earnings to just realize some solid gains. I'm going to take a quick peek at how much I actually realized when I did trim half. I realized about 3.47 R. So yeah, not a bad trade at all. Okay, my second good trade of the month is Tesla. So here we filled up on this day right here for the election announcement that Trump won. So yeah, we filled on this day here, and then we ended up adding somewhere. I think here in real, or no, I added on this day here. Realistically, I should have added on this day, uh, but I didn't, and I added instead on this day. So our average went from 15, I think 54 to 1704. We're still in this position. Haven't trimmed anything, or yeah, no trims. Or actually, no, I trimmed this day here, ended up re-adding this day here, which I already clarified, and now yeah, we're still riding this position. It's sitting at a, let's see, I think 30% gain so far. Let's see how many R's I realized on this position as well. Took a peek at that. We've only realized about 0.5 R on this actually, so yeah, not the best, but we're still just letting it ride. So some other setups I took this month that that's making me money currently is Poet. Now the semiconductor space sector is actually not doing too well. I know Nvidia is not doing too well. AVGO is not doing well at all either, which are technically the leaders. But I like the chart. I liked everything I saw, and for now it's working out. And as you can see, it's facing some pretty big resistance. It's a big push above 560. So a lot of resistance there, I guess. But yeah, treating us well so far. So now we're gonna move on to some things I am not happy about in terms of my performance for the month of November. So honestly, don't even know where to begin. Fortunately, I actually only ended up down, let's see, I think 0.13% of the account for the month of November, which obviously isn't bad. 0.26%, sorry. But nonetheless, we didn't make money. Now, that's not necessarily the biggest issue and my biggest takeaway from the month of November. Honestly, there was a couple of things I was not proud about. I got way too cute with trades. For some reason, I started to do a dive into the fact of like adding into trades, adding into winners when I don't necessarily have experience with that. So that's something I'm not really happy about. I just complicated a lot of things. I didn't make it simple. And for me, things need to be simple. And simplicity for me relieves me of anxiety, overthinking, and the whole procedural aspect of my system, which my biggest premise is just simplicity, which is all I need, and the rest will follow. So first, with RGTI, we took this trade on this day here at a 150 average, and it closed red on that day, but barely. I think it closed. What's the close? I think the close was like 149, and I got a 150 average. So I don't even know what percent that is, but 1 cent off my average. So what I did was I made this thing where this new thing in my system where if a position closes red on entry day, I cut half and I will add more on the break of my entry or that entry day's candles high. So I went ahead and did that for this trade right here on this day here, and it just complicated so much. I accidentally sized in way too heavy, and then I had to move my stop to some random price level because it was the fixed dollar amount that I was planning to lose on this trade. And unfortunately, I got stopped out just for it to go for my entry damn near 100%. So that definitely stings. I was very, very frustrated with myself. And this was a trade that honestly I was really proud of catching because not too many people were talking about it. I know a lot of people, instead of RGTI, were talking about QBT, which, of course, is a great setup as well. But I liked RGTI more because of how much more it was flagging, the higher lows, the decline in volume. I think most people that were taking QBT were zoomed in on like the 1 hour. I mean, the daily looked decent here, but I would have loved more sideways, like on RGTI. So yeah, I've really mismanaged this trade, and honestly, looking at it right now is kind of making me mad. But there's nothing I can do. I made shit way too complicated, and that's nobody's fault but mine. So another trade I am not happy about taking is 1120 Coinbase right here. Um, a lot of this was something that I touched on in the month of October and even probably September too. Is this was kind of a trade that I took based on outside influence, meaning no one was telling me like, "Yo, Javier, take this trade," but I was just seeing so many other people talk about it, and I personally didn't even think it was ready, which is the most frustrating part that I felt the need to still take it, I guess, because of FOMO. Really, in reality, I just had the fear of missing out. Uh, Bitcoin was doing decently well. Crypto related names were all doing decently well. And unfortunately, I took it for absolutely no reason. Let's just keep it short and simple. Yeah, just being a dumbass, not following my process, even though other people see it uh, as a setup, I didn't. And obviously, hindsight is 2020, but we can obviously see now that that did not working out because I knew it needed more time going sideways. So yeah, that's another trade I'm not proud about. And nothing much else that I'm really upset about. I think I actually did get cute with one more trade that I will elaborate on is XMTR. Yes, I did take it on this day here, and I got cute with it. Once again, stopped myself out, and although it did end up working, the point is I got cute, and I wasn't following my system. I was doing too much thinking and not enough just doing. I was thinking too much, and as we all know, in this game, thinking does not equal profitability, especially in the long term, because the more emotions get involved, the less irrational you become. So this is another trade I ended up getting cute on. I cut this because, as you can see here, the volume was weak, and in my experience, entering things with weak volume, but they still technically quote unquote break out, uh, just don't end up having follow through. Now you could see from my studying and stuff, it's pretty true. Although it did end up going for about 3 days. Still, nonetheless, I got cute with it. The point is I wasn't following my system, and that's something that I'm not proud about. And yeah, lastly, that's really all the trades I'm not really happy about. And now we're gonna move on to some takeaways for the month. Okay, so some takeaways from the month are, honestly, I'm not risking enough, and I know that sounds crazy coming off a red month, but I think like risking 0.5% of your account just isn't enough. It's not enough skin in the game for multiple reasons. The first being like, of course, we're all in this to make money, and that's important. But also, I feel like risking less leads to over trading because you have leftover buying power to just keep buying, and then therefore risking money, therefore increasing the chance of taking losses, and that just leads to over trading. And I think I only took like 25 trades this month, which might be a lot for some. For me, it's not too crazy, but yeah, I feel like I was taking too many trades while I just wasn't letting my winners do their thing, like Lunar and Tesla, for example, and some other routine trades that I was taking. Yeah, I wasn't letting my winners do their thing, and I was just intervening with pretty much unrealized gains by taking realized losses, just because I always had leftover buying power. Now I'm not going to sit here and say I should risk 2-3% of my account, but I do want to trim down, or I want to up my risk so that I can trim down the possibility of me just potentially over trading. So I'm thinking about strictly just risking at minimum 1% of my account, so that more of my buying power is being used, and uh, I won't be susceptible to over trading. So yeah, pretty much that's my biggest takeaway from this month. Also, I know most people that follow Kalamagi and most swing traders love to say like they like to trim into strength, which I have nothing wrong with that. Uh, my takeaway is I've been keeping my sell rules simple. I might add one more condition to at least trim a quarter of my position, maybe on like the third day at close, regardless of risk to reward, regardless of whatever, just to take some profit, potentially even pay for the trade, you know, if I'm up enough R. And yeah, that's pretty much my main takeaways. Wasn't, I'm not extremely disappointed in myself this month, but in terms of my system and me following it, I'd probably give myself like a C at best. Uh, yeah, definitely some things I need to work on. Overtrading being one of them, and I just need to have 4 or 5 good positions with good size and just let my winners do the talking, and just instead of just risking little, and not really necessarily letting my winners win, and still trying to take other trades because I guess in reality, I don't know. I guess it's FOMO. I don't even know why I do it, to be honest. I just tell myself I'm following the system, but that system didn't work out this month. And granted, I didn't lose that much money at all, like at all, which is cool. But at the end of the day, I just shitty execution. So yeah, that's pretty much my takeaways. My stats for the month are average win loss trade is 4.59, but my profit factor was like 0.77, which is pretty low. Under one obviously means you're not making money, and obviously we did not make money this month, as I clarified earlier, which is okay. Um, but yeah, I not necessarily proud with my performance this month, but you live and you learn, and we're on to the next, baby. Let's go.